Welcome everyone to the Wolves Den and another action figure review. Today we are taking a look at one of the 2016 Toys R Us exclusive G.I. Joe 2-packs. This particular 2-pack is titled Mission Accepted, and it contains Duke and a brand new Cobra figure named Tombstone. If we take a look at the back of the package quick, we see some nice artwork containing those two figures. Alright, let's open the package up and take a look at the figures inside. We're going to start our review off by first taking a look at Duke. So let's take a look at his articulation, starting with the head. His head does rotate all the way around, and he does have some downward movement and very little upward movement. Arms rest pretty close to the sides here, although the vest does hinder that a little bit. Moves pretty far up at the shoulders there, and then does rotate all the way around. Single elbow bend there, and then that does rotate also. Wrists rotate, and then both wrists have this up and down movement. Because of the vest, the torso doesn't move much at all. Can move a little bit side to side, but that's about it. Legs move out to the side that far, and then forward all the way. He's got double jointed knees, and then his feet do move up and down. It's kind of hard to get them. They're kind of tight, especially this foot here. And then they do have like this ankle swivel pivot there. Alright, let's take a closer look at the figure. This Duke has a very nice head sculpt. It is one that they have used before. I believe one of the Pursuit of Cobra Dukes had this very same head sculpt. But it is a very well constructed one. Got that nice little scar there. Just the overall details on the face just makes him look, realistic. They did a really nice job painting the eyes in there. Gave him some blonde hair. I think it's a little too blonde, but it is a really good looking head sculpt. So it was a good one for them to reuse for this figure. Moving down, we see the vest he's wearing. Again, it's another vest they've used in the past, but it is a good one, and it is nice to see them paint some details on there instead of leaving it straight green. So it is nice that they painted the straps black on there with some silver buckles. Got some of the pouches painted in there. Nothing on the back's really painted. There are some things they could have painted, like the straps here and whatnot, but it's nice that the front has at least some color to it. He's got some baggy arms here, but they don't really hinder his articulation at all, which is nice. He can still position his arms pretty well. So those baggy arms don't really get in the way at all of his articulation. And then we move down. See the nice knee pads there. Nice details on the legs with all the different wrinkles and folds and whatnot. A couple pouches there. Not a whole lot of color to Duke here except in the vest. Mostly this yellow and green. Let's take a look at some of the weapons and such that he comes with. First we have this figure stand, which I have him standing on already. See, it's got his name on there, his full name. Then he comes with this backpack. It's a backpack we've seen before. In fact, I think it's the same backpack that came with the Pursuit of Cobra Duke, where this head sculpt is from. And they did paint a little bit on there, not much, but makes it stand out a little bit. But it is a nice backpack, as detail-wise. There's a lot of nice little straps and whatnot on there. So it does have this notch, which on other figures that this backpack has come with, you could put maybe a shotgun or a flashlight or something in there, but this figure did not come with anything that fits in that notch. And there it is on his back. Looks pretty good. He also comes with 3 different guns. We have this nice rifle here. They always do a nice job on these guns. They always look really good. And that does fit well in his hand. All his weapons fit well in his hand. He doesn't have any problem holding any of his guns. So there's that one. Then he's got the little pistol here. Sadly, he has no holster for his pistol. And lastly, he's got this machine gun with the removable, there it goes, removable clip there. Again, a very nice looking gun. And that will, as I said, fit well in his hand. Well, I say that, and then I can't get it in there. There we go. Oop. Well, I knew something would fight me here. There we go. And as I expected, the clip fell out. Tends to do that with this gun. The guns may look nice, but the clips never seem to stay in. And there you go. And last but not least, he does come with the 4 file cards for 4 different languages. I'm going to put the English one up here for you all to read. Alright, so now I will give you my final thoughts. I've been wanting a modern Duke that blended the original figure from the 80s with a more modern look, and I think that is what Hasbro has attempted to do with this figure. But I don't think they succeeded very well. And my problems with this figure revolve pretty much entirely around the middle, the torso area of the figure. The head sculpt is good. I like the head sculpt. I think he's a little too blonde. I think the hair should have been a little darker. But other than that, it's a good head sculpt. And the choice of legs, they're good legs with good articulation, so those work out well. And you know, the green color is nice. It's just the torso area where I think they've messed up this figure the most. First with the vest, as I said before, I like that they painted on some of the details of the vest. Looks good. But also the vest is too small for this figure. It doesn't fit that torso very well. It leaves this little gap down here, which is it doesn't look very good. Had they included a belt to put in that spot, maybe it would look better. Or if they would have just picked different web gear or a vest to fit over that torso, maybe it would have looked better overall. But as it is, it just doesn't look well. It doesn't fit right. And I especially don't like this vest because it never stays pegged in. If you can see right there, the peg just does not stay pegged in, so it's just got that big area that always sticks out. Next would be the color of his torso, the arms and the torso area. That yellow on there is a little too bright yellow. If they would have picked a darker yellow or a brown color, I think it would have looked better. As it is, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look good, at least in my opinion. But the most glaring thing, I think, with this figure has to be the arms. The articulation on the arms is fine. They work well. He's able to pose well and hold guns well. But just the look of the arms are just too big and poofy. I don't know why they chose those big, poofy looking arms. It just doesn't flow well. It doesn't look right. I don't know what look they were going for, but it just does not look good. I don't know why they chose those particular arms for this figure. So while I think there are a few positives with this figure, overall I just don't like the look of him. The overall the flow of the figure just looks off. The parts do not blend well together. So I personally just do not like how this figure looks. Alright, with that said, let's take a look at Tombstone. Next we are taking a look at the brand new figure and character for Cobra here. We have Tombstone. So let's take a look at his articulation. His head does rotate left and right. And then he can look up a little bit and down a little bit, but not very much. Arms rest pretty close to the sides there, and they do go up that far there and then rotate all around. It's got the one elbow bend, and then the arms rotate there. Wrists rotate, and then both wrists have the up and down movement. His waist rotates there, but because of the vest you can't really bend him forward or back or side to side, but he does rotate there. Legs move out to the side. This little piece doesn't hinder that at all. And then forward. And he's got some double jointed knees. And then the feet move up and down and spin all around. Alright, let's take a closer look at the figure. So, since this is a new character, we have a brand new head sculpt on this figure. Get a slightly closer look. They did do some nice detail. He's got an eye missing here. You can maybe see the scar. It's really hard to see even up close, but it's there. So the scar that basically shut that eye. So he's got one painted in eye with an eyebrow, and the other eye and eyebrow are like missing, which is a nice little touch. That's the only paint work on the head, is just the eye and the eyebrow there. Otherwise, just a basic bald head, but it's a good looking head sculpt. Moving down, we've got this nice vest here, which they did add some color to. You know, the blacks and the blues there work really well. Makes him look like a Cobra, you know, like a leader of Cobra troops. He's, you know, he doesn't stand out too much because he's got, you know, he wears the same color as the troops do, so that's nice. Nice silver Cobra symbol on there. Other than the blacks and the blues, he's got the white shoulder pads, which is the only white color on the figure. And just really nice little details in the sculpt of the figure. Lots of little straps. And the knee pads there. Just makes him look good overall. Alright, let's take a look at what he comes with here. He has his figure stand with his name on it. So let's put him on there. Get both feet on there. There we go. Then he comes with assortment of 4 guns. Let's take a closer look at those. You know, they're all guns that other figures have come with before. This one, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a real world gun or if it's supposed to be like a sci-fi, like laser gun or something. I'm not really sure. Same goes for this gun. I think this might be a real world gun, but I'm not sure what kind of gun it actually is. And then he's got a nice basic rifle here. And then lastly he has this thing, which I have other figures with this weapon, and I honestly don't know what it is. If it's some sort of grenade launcher, or if it's supposed to be a sci-fi weapon, I really don't know. Either way, I'm not too fond of this particular weapon. He does hold his weapons well. He's got a good grip on all of them. And his posability with the weapons is good. He's got a good range of motion with his arms and hands. Oop. Don't want to spend too much time trying to pose him right now. But there he is. But he holds all his weapons really well. Alright, last but not least is the file card. And there's his English version there. Let everyone take a look at that. And now we will move on to my final thoughts. Ultimately, I really do like this figure. I think it's great that they're coming up with new concepts for new Joes and Cobras that they can add to the mythology of the line. And, you know, it's nice that they came up with a field leader for the Cobra troops. I think that was a really good idea. It's kind of amazing that they really didn't have one up until this point. And I like that they gave him, you know, the same color scheme that the Cobra troops would have, but he's got a very distinct look that makes him stand out from the troops. So I think that was a really good idea, and I think they did a good job with the end result. But saying that, I still have a couple problems with this figure. The one issue I have is pretty minor, and that's the white shoulder pads. I wish they would have been the dark blue that his vest and other parts of him are. I think that would have blended in better and looked better. As it is, the white just kind of stands out, and it doesn't really mesh with the figure very well. But that's just a minor quibble, not that big of a deal. It doesn't kill the figure. The second problem I have doesn't really kill the figure either, but it's a pretty big issue. Say that a little tongue-in-cheek, and that is his head sculpt is just too big for this figure. It's just oversized for what it should be. It should be a bit smaller. The head sculpt itself is fine. The way it's constructed, it looks good, but the size of it is just too large. So I wish they could have shrunk it down a bit, I guess. But because when you look at him, it just doesn't look right. Seeing such a large head on that body just doesn't mesh well. But like I said, it doesn't kill the figure for me, but it's very noticeable at times. Alright, I'd like to thank everybody for watching yet another action figure review, and I hope to see you again soon for some more G.I. Joe and other action figure reviews. Until then, thanks for watching.